My new studio, and I have already messed everything. This came for servicing, for maintaining, and all the things I've got here are for our finals. This is the final video of the reviews and testing I've been doing in the 2017 season. Some of the accessories and parts I bought already in 2016, so it will be even longer than just one season long. And I'm not going to be talking about things which just were and didn't take my attention. I'm gonna talk about two biggest losers, then three things which didn't work quite well, and finally things I will definitely want you to just look at and I would definitely recommend buying. All right, we are starting with two losers. And the first loser comes from the accessories category, and this is the Feiyutech WG, so wearable gimbal. It just doesn't work. The camera would not stay in this position. It would always just be a little bit like that. So it kind of loses the horizon. It was like on each right hand turn, then on the left turn it would go back to its position. So it was calibrated. I did contact the help desk from Feiyutech. Everything was done well, good, from what I could do. I had to send it back to the Feiyutech. One of the motors has been replaced, and that doesn't work just as it didn't work before, so cannot recommend it. I have to send it back once again. Maybe it will be replaced with the newer model. We'll see. Anyway, $250, about $300 I think I bought it for. Just doesn't work, cannot recommend it. And the second loser comes from the parts category, and it's the rear damper, RockShox XX Monarch, or Monarch XX with the X-Lock remote. It does not work. I've been testing two of these dampers in the previous year. Still one of those is on my Merida. The first one was on the cross-country full suspension bike, which was maybe ridden for 50 kilometers. It already needed to be bleeded because you could hear some tuk 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 while riding on the bumps, and the lockout would not be like a fully rigid lockout, but rather like compression. So didn't work. Mine worked perfectly, flawlessly. It's super efficient, it's super light, blah blah blah. It's amazing when it works. Now my bike has been standing for 3 weeks or so, and the lockout does not work at all. And you cannot do anything with any adjusters, barrel adjusters, because there are none. So probably it needs to be bleeded for about $400, and for what RockShox say on their website that Newton would be amazed with this design. I am not amazed, and I know many people who are not satisfied with the RockShox XX Monarch damper with the X-Lock. By the way, the front suspension works perfectly, and the same X-Lock works, locks it out absolutely like rigid for my RS1. So the front one works, the rear one does not work. So the problem must be on the damper side. Do not recommend RockShox XX Monarch. Now it's time for three things. One will be the glasses, and two will be bike components, which I don't recommend either. The quality will be just fine, but they just don't work exactly as they're supposed to, in my opinion. The first one is the Rosa Eyeglasses. These are the photochrome glasses, lenses. The time of the reaction for the changes of the sun, so the intensity of the light is amazing. This is pretty fast, and I loved it. They fit to my head very well. I like it a lot, but because of large gap right here, all the speeds over 25 kilometers per hour means tears in your eyes. So these are not really good for cycling, in my opinion. Sorry. I have my super old sunglasses. These are not cycling glasses even. And because of the frame, I have no problem with this. But the very first ride I took this one for, I started just to cry on my bike. So Rosa, the quality is, as on most of your things, very good, but these just don't work that much on the higher speed on the bicycle. The number two thing I would not really recommend, even though it does work, so it works flawlessly. These are the brakes, the highest model of SRAM brakes, SRAM Ultimate level. These are just good brakes, you know, carbon and super light and so on, but the braking performance is not outstanding. So these are actually not as powerful as some brakes, which are much cheaper, maybe even 50% cheaper, because these stand for that, 300 USD, so $300 is quite a lot. It does depend so much on the braking pads. I did not replace the braking pads on the brakes, but I would not buy SRAM Ultimate level, the highest model of their brakes, because I'm gonna be talking about just in the second about the brakes I do recommend, and these are much cheaper. And the third part is also something you know very well and many of you guys are using. This is the crankset from Shimano Ultegra 6800. It is just a good crankset, but I don't see any point of upgrading from 105 to Ultegra, even though you get some weight savings, and these are probably the only upgrades from 105 to Ultegra, because the shifting performance on it, I don't like it. It doesn't mean it's worse than on the 105, but it's not improved by any means. So Shimano Ultegra crankset, it's not outstanding in any way. These should be like half pro components, right? Ultegra, just one step below the Dura Ace. It's not something I would recommend. The Tiagra or Sora would be more than enough for me, but these are not the 11-speed cranksets. So if I was to choose 11-speed crankset for Shimano, that would be 105. Now the part I like the most, which is all the parts I do recommend because these are good, they work, and I might say I love those. At the end, I'm going to tell you what testing I'm still doing. So there's no final review or opinion of those parts or accessories. But now the things I do like, let's start. The first thing I recommend, I must tell you I love it even, it's the rear bicycle light from Bontrager, the model Flare R City. It is lovely. I do love stuff which was well thought out. So, mounting this one on the seat post is super easy, it takes 2 seconds, but also if you need to remove this light for charging, you are charging it through USB, you don't need to remove the whole thing. That means this will have a long life because we are not always stretching it out for removing and for putting the light back on the bicycle. So this is lovely. It is pretty tiny and it is very strong. Another thing is that it also has the light intensity sensor, so it will be stronger during the day and it will dim a little bit during the night, which is good. Because during the day I want to be visible for cars, and sorry for doing that. I am using the light during the daylight, even during the summer. It is just now very dangerous riding bicycles on the road, so I am using this. It will also memorize the mode in which we've been using it for the last time. So when you turn it on, it will simply go back to the last mode you've been using it in. So love it, absolutely love it. The disadvantage of this one is maybe that no one will like riding on your wheel if you have this on, either during the night or during the day, because this is strong. The cars are okay because they are looking at you from the distance, but somebody who's just sitting on your wheel like 1.5 meters from this light, this will be just too bright for them. So maybe disadvantage, but I would not like to have like a weaker light. This means safety for me. I love it. As a comparison, this is really great value for the price. Very good light, Mactronic red line. I like it, but it does not have the light sensor. It doesn't memorize the mode, so each time you turn it on, you need to go through all the modes. And also removing it always means that you need to stretch this rubber quite a lot for charging, so not as awesome as the Bontrager Flare R City. The next part comes also from the category accessories, and this is also the light, bicycle light, Sigma Buster 2000. 2000s. I've been using this one, testing it for about 4 weeks. It is amazing. It is super strong. It has very good battery. This is really strong. It is stronger than my very strong studio lighting. Very strong battery, super easy to mount on the handlebars. This takes like 30 seconds. Very easy to mount on the frame. Very good rubber here. Works very, very well. I have 2 of these. And this is not just for, you know, commuting to work. I'm using these on the trails during the night. Amazing. You're gonna see the videos. Even for my GoPro, which doesn't like darkness, with these, the video is just amazing. At least in my opinion, it's very exciting. So this is something I do recommend. Eagle, Eagle, Eagle. I have to recommend this. It doesn't change my opinion on 1x drivetrains, which are not perfect for me. 2x is better, in my opinion. Just for me, for my training, okay? For the thing I'm learning with my cadence and power output, 2x drivetrain is better. But technologies used on the Eagle cassettes and the chain rings and the rear derailleurs is amazing. These are, in my opinion, the best cassettes on the market right now. So SRAM has really done a great job. I do recommend Eagle. You don't have to spend money for XX. GX has it as well. For trail riding, enduro riding, the best ones. For cross country, you choose. I prefer 2x, but Eagle is something I do recommend. Okay, I talked about the brakes I would not really buy for $300, super light but not super powerful, SRAM Ultimate level, but now much cheaper. Shimano SLX, Shimano Diori in the newest group sets from Shimano. I love those. Really strong, powerful, the braking levers, they feel so good on both 2 fingers and 1 finger braking. I use 1 finger braking and I do recommend using 1 finger braking. On the bikes I've been testing in 2017, these were the best brakes I could test. So for the price, just find the right compound of the pads in the environment you are riding. Very good, I do recommend. Talking about the brakes, Disco brakes pads. I'm not sure about the rotors because I just got one and I'm still testing it, but the braking pads, one of the best in the world. You have so huge variety of different compounds, so choose the right compound. The ceramic one has changed the Magura MT race on my FSI Cannondale a lot. We also did test the Kevlar ones on the mechanical Shimano disc brakes, which weren't really strong, and it's changed the braking power dramatically, or drastically. So disco brakes is something I do recommend as well. The next one, accessories, Tacx Bushido. I've been riding my Tacx Bushido for 2 years now. Amazing. I sold it. Somebody is now riding it. I have the new one. I will also tell you in one of my episodes what would be good idea to do with the old Tacx, not only Bushido trainer, but this one, self-powering, smart, working pretty well, not really loud. I do like it. You don't need the power supply. You don't use it at all. I do like it. So something I do recommend, Tacx Bushido. Now we get back to the clothing. So Rosa, we get back to Rosa. Very good jacket. It's been done with high quality, but also it has very well thought out features like the pocket right here on the arm with the zipper and 2 separate pockets here in the rear with the zippers. And these are large enough to contain, for example, the spare kit, spare inner tube, or my large smartphone, because I have a large one right now, so it will fit in there. 2 zippers on both sides, very good. The material, good quality. Then the bib shorts are just amazing. So the padding, super nice, and also 3 zippers. We got 1 zipper here in the front, which may be very handy sometimes, and also additional zippers right there. It's been working very well. I hate all black bib shorts, so the long ones. this is not all black, at least. So I do like it. And then, if it's cold, these are the gloves for the winter. Also made by Rosa. Rosa Cycle Your Way. I love these. These are so warm. Very handy, very nicely done, and they fit my palms very well. One thing which is not very well made here is this touch area. It should be done around the finger, not only there, because nobody's using the smartphone like this. Just nobody. You are unable to write an email or just to answer the phone with this, really. This should be done just like Pearl Izumi have done it. These are not as warm as the Rosa, but this touch area is made around the finger. So Rosa, please, made this one just like Pearl Izumi did, and then these will be one of the best, really winter, so freezing temperature cycling gloves. Accessories once more, the toe pick tools. The super high quality, I do love it. I did use it for some bottom bracket shells with some not really well made threads. So maybe the threads were damaged a little bit. With the very strong steel that the toe pick tools are made of, I was able to do pretty much anything I wanted. So these tools are high quality. You don't have to buy a whole package, don't do it. But individual tools that you need for your bike and just for your use, everyday use, recommend toe pick. So that's it for the final opinion of this test, and now the tests which are ongoing, new on my channel, the food. For the first time I'm testing the food. This just not arrived to my studio. I've been testing this for about 6 weeks already. My patrons know about it only because I will give you my opinion about it when I really see the results on my body and my performance as well. This is the organic food. So far I love it, but I'm not gonna say anything more. Just give me a couple of weeks more, because for this food and its price, we'll see. So far I'm loving it. The other testing which are ongoing and you are asking about are the Thanos tires. So the airless tires, still ongoing test. Very soon I'm gonna give you the final result of the testing, and then the Tax Flux turbo trainer, and of course the Mio Cyclo 605 bike computer, and that's it. If you have any questions about bikes I've been testing in the 2017 years, you can just feel free to ask me those. That's it for today. I hope you just enjoyed it, and it will be now easier for you to buy some good stuff and avoid maybe not that good stuff. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.